What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Bearded Fireflies Wrestling Podcast. Today is October 20th, 2024, the year of our Lord, the year of the retirement of the American Dragon. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. The year of Jungle Boy Jack Perry. All right, we said yo JR giving a shout out from Vegas. See y'all next week. Have a
JR
great show.
Dizzle.
JR, thanks, brother man. Thanks for being here in spirit and watching with us. Anyways, I am your host, Sean. Co-host Sean. Got our co-host Chris. And one of our other co-hosts is on vacation, JR. And so, JR, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for watching in. I am going to be on vacation next week, but I'm going to try and bring my computer so we can still do this. So we shall see what happens. But anyways, Chris, how are you doing? How's your week been?
I'm doing okay, man. It's been a long couple weeks for the hurricanes and stuff. Just kind of decompressing after all that stuff. I got therapy this week finally, so can talk about the stuff that's been going on.
Yeah. How bad did the hurricane affect you in your area?
So my house personally did not get damaged at all, thankfully. I lost power for maybe about 12 hours or so, maybe 14 hours. Grandma lost power for almost a week. Wow. One of my best friends, same thing. The flooding was the worst part of it because it wasn't even like a storm surge. It was all the water that the storm sucked up. It went back into the rivers, went back into the water. So my entire town was underwater.
Jesus.
Couldn't go to the grocery store, couldn't do anything because all the roads were blocked.
Damn, dude. Canoe? No, I'm just joking.
If my job paid me enough, I'd get a canoe.
Yeah, no joke. But I'm glad that you are safe. I'm glad that your family is safe and that everything is back up and running as normal as it can be.
Yeah, me too, man. I appreciate it. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a wild week. At Cairo, I was busy pretty much all week, man, doing something. I had chiropractor 3 times this week. I was a chaperone at my stepdaughter's field trip. She went to a pumpkin patch. That was fun. And my chiropractor had a great time with me the very next day. So, I'm gearing up for vacation next week, going to Texas, just outside Houston, for a few days. Yeah. Right, pretty much. So Chelsea, my girlfriend, she likes to go and do the antique picking and stuff like that. And there's a massive festival down there, I guess, or a massive market down there that is happening right now and next week. And so we're going down to do that. We're going to be right in the middle of Houston and Austin. So we fly out tomorrow morning at 5 a.m, and then we're going to get there and I think we're going to go do some sightseeing. I really want to go see the Alamo. I've never seen the Alamo before. Never been to Texas. Well, I've been to Texas, but not to visit.
Right.
Military stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm just excited to get a little bit of a break from the house and monotonous stuff of everyday living. But it's been a decent week, man. It's been a decent week. We're also planning our next healing event, and so that looks really cool. It's gonna be really cool, really fun and enjoyable. Man. Let's talk about Wrestle Dream real quick. We try and stray away from AEW, guys. Forever's watching. We try and stray away from AEW, but there's some things that happen in AEW that we just can't get behind. And one of those things, God damn it, one of those things is what happened to Danielson this past Sunday at Wrestle Dream. Wrestle Snooze. Yeah. I personally didn't watch it. I was checking up on the highlights and what happened, and then as videos were trickling out, I seen it. I mean, we seen Wheeler Yuta turn we obviously knew white bread was going to turn. Yeah, exactly. But he ended up putting the paper bag over Danielson's head. Danielson dropped the title to Mox, so that means like his full time in ring career is over. Honestly, to be honest, I really wish that they would have stuck with the original plan and had him drop it to Darby. Like, I know that Darby's not very famous or popular on the show, but if you're going to do it to somebody, give it to somebody that needs it, and Darby is one of those people. Wheeler, you need a charisma double pass. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Not wrong.
No, and then they did kind of one of those deals, attempted murder. And we still don't know what's going on with AEW, right? Like, go ahead.
2 weeks in a row, or 2 pay-per-views in a row, they use the plastic bag spot. At what point does too much become too much? And I'm not even talking about what the content was. I'm talking about doing the same exact spot you did in another pay-per-view or another show. Why are we redoing spots?
Yeah, I don't know. But here's a weird fun fact. And you've probably seen this pop up online. Danielson's last match on Raw when he was with WWE was against Seth Rollins. His last SmackDown match, or match in general, was against Roman, and his last match in AEW was against Mox. So he's faced all 3 members of the Shield and lost to all 3 members of the Shield, which is cool. Mm-hmm. Kind of. I mean, they, in a weird way, they've had it was the series between Mox and Danielson, if you call it a series, is tied 1-1. Or no, they tied at the end, I think. I don't know. Anyways, that, from my understanding, was a big griping complaint that a lot of the fans had for Wrestle Dream, was the fact
the ending was flat.
The ending was very, very flat. You had all the faces out there trying to help Danielson, and nobody could penetrate. Nobody could help him. It's AEW. Nobody knows what the heck they're doing down there. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yep. And then all they'll do is just blame it on somebody like Jimmy Jacobs.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. No accountability whatsoever. From my understanding, the pay-per-view was really good, except, I mean, Dave Meltzer gave the fucking triple threat for the inter, or whatever the Continental Championship, whatever they're calling it. He gave it a 5.5 stars because Trevor and Ospreay were in it. Ocean Spray.
I watched highlights for that match, and while I think I don't even know how to say his name without making fun of his last name, take a shitta. I don't know. If it was anybody but Ricochet and Ospreay, I would be like, cool. But it was a spot fest. The whole match is a fucking spot fest.
Yeah. Absolutely. But this is going to be the last little bit, except for another F-bomb. I needed a Benny Hill soundtrack for those match highlights.
Literally.
Yeah. One other thing that I want to say on the show before we move away from AEW is fuck RJ City.
Yep.
Fuck RJ. He came out and said that that Tony Storm has the best character development in all professional wrestling, which in my personal humble opinion is absolutely wrong. And then he said, he likens her to the Undertaker, which is a huge slap in the face. And says at least she's not a washed up retired wrestler that wears problematic shirts and has a shitty podcast. First off, if you think his podcast is shitty, you're obviously watching it. Second off, somebody's political views should not determine whether or not somebody's podcast is shitty or not. or the guest for that matter. And third off, who the fuck is RJ City to say any of that shit? Like, we know my personal opinion on the Undertaker, but the Undertaker forged a legacy, and RJ City, I don't even think has had a match in AEW.
Wait. Do you not like Undertaker, or you like Undertaker?
No, I like Undertaker. I have a lot of respect for him, but he's not my top 10.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and that's a hot take. But you know, Undertaker has done more for the business and more for the business and WWE than anybody I can probably say, with the exception of maybe Stone Cold.
I would say top 3 most impact. Actually, I would even say 4, as much as I hate to give the man credit. Hogan, Rock, Austin, and Taker.
Yeah. Hogan, Rock, Austin, Taker, and Cena too. Cena would be top 5 in my opinion. I think we might have lost Chris. But yeah, so we. Oh, you there, Chris? Okay. Yeah, I would throw.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I would throw Cena in that bunch too, because Cena brought young fans in that are fans now.
I mean, I was more so saying the Attitude Era.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would agree. Definitely. But yeah, so we're gonna move away from AEW. We're gonna move away from all that shit, and we're gonna talk about some more fun things. I pulled up today in wrestling history, October 20th. So right off the bat, we got October 20th today in wrestling history. We got Mad Dog Bacon beating Vern Gagne to win the AWA World Heavyweight Championship in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's pretty cool. 1964. In 1996, WWF In Your House Buried Alive took place in Indianapolis, Indiana. In the main event, The Undertaker faced Mankind, the first ever Buried Alive match. Undertaker won the match, but the debuting Executioner, Terry Gordy, attacked Undertaker after the match and replaced Mankind in the grave with the dead man. The pay-per-view ended with the iconic image of Undertaker's purple glove bursting up through the dirt. I feel like every Buried Alive match, Undertaker has ended up in that grave. He ended up in the grave with Vince, and I'm pretty sure with Austin as well. 2000, WCW released Bret Hart. Almost exactly 3 years after signing with the company, Hart was suffering from a post-concussion syndrome as a result of an injury caused by Bill Goldberg. Hart announced his retirement soon after. Jesus. WWE. Jesus Christ. 2002, WWE No Mercy took place in the Altel Arena in Little Rock, Arkansas. A strong card was headlined by Brock Lesnar retaining the WWE Championship by defeating The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match. I remember that. That was a bloody-ass match. And that match was wild. Yeah, it was. I think that's the one where he had the cast. That's the one we were talking about a few weeks ago. In the other featured singles match, World Heavyweight Champion Triple H defeated Intercontinental Champion Kane in a champion versus champion unification match, with the result of the Intercontinental Championship being retired after 33 years. It would be reactivated in May 2003. Additionally, Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit defeated Edge and Rey Mysterio in the tournament finals to decide the first ever SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I remember that. On 2003, on WWE Raw, Shawn Michaels faced Goldberg in something of a dream match for Goldberg's World Heavyweight Championship. I don't ever think that was a dream match. Let's be real here. The match was interrupted by returning Batista, who attacked Goldberg to claim the $100,000 bounty.
They said that Shawn and Goldberg was a dream match?
Yeah. Yeah, they said that Sean Goldberg is a dream match.
Good Lord.
Doubtful. I don't know who was dreaming that fucking match, but definitely wasn't us. Uh, the match was interrupted by a returning Batista who attacked Goldberg to claim the $100,000 bounty placed on the champion's head by Evolution stablemates. 2007 on UFC 77, Brock Lesnar was announced or is announced as the latest signee to WWE or to UFC's heavyweight division. Cool. What the fuck? Okay. 2010, Nigel McGuinness signs for TNA Wrestling. Before his debut, he was named Desmond Wolfe. I remember that. 2013, at TNA Wrestling Bound for Glory, AJ Styles claimed the TNA Heavyweight Championship by defeating the ladder of Aces and Eights, Bully Ray, on the same show. Oh, Aces and Eights, Bully Ray. Okay, on the same show, EC3 made his in-ring debut for the company. Notable wrestling birthdays. Humberto Carrillo was born in 95. Jesus. Chavo Guerrero Jr., 1970. Tiger Mask 4. Ooh, Chavo. Tiger Mask 4 was 1970 as well. And Scott Hall, the bad guy, one of my all-time favorites, was born in 1958. And notable wrestling... Notable wrestling deaths. Ox Baker died in 2014. No clue who that is. Stan Kowalski. Guessing he's the brother or related to Killer Kowalski. And 2017. And that is your day in wrestling history. All right. Next.
My computer would.
What's up?
So I wish my computer would stop lagging.
I hear you. All right, so next we're going to move on to Raw. And if you guys didn't watch Raw or don't watch Raw, Raw now has moved to 2 hours on the USA Network, which kind of, in a way, kind of sucks for a lot of the talent. But the pacing of the show is really awesome. It's like the same pace as SmackDown, it feels. And so it's pretty good. Raw kicks off with Rhea Ripley opening up the show, calling out Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Tiffany Stratton comes out and threatens that there's going to be a big problem if she continues to cross the women's champion, Nia Jax, again. And Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez attack both Tiffany Stratton and Rhea Ripley. Dude, it just feels like a clusterfuck right now in the women's division. What do you feel, man? Yeah, yeah. So it feels like a clusterfuck in the women's division, in my opinion, leading up into Crown Jewel. Anyways, next, our first match on the card was the women's tag team championships. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair versus. Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm gonna restart my browser really quick.
Okay, no worries. I'll continue on. So next, we had Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair versus Damage Control, and we've talked about like the chemistry between these two teams and how well they do together. We also had Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend ringside, and really solid match. We've seen Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair retain their championships. So we got a pre-recorded promo from Braun Breaker explaining why he attacked Jay last week. It feels weird. It feels weird that he attacked him, especially because like it was like a swerve. But he said that when he showed Jay respect after winning the championship on the next show, on the next Raw, Jay didn't show him respect as a prior champion. And so he said, no deed goes unpunished. Really good promo from him. Braun always, gets his shit done. So next we had a sit down with Raw GM Adam Pearce and Big Bronson Reed. And so he pretty much said, he said, hey, look, you've been causing havoc. You can't be doing that. You're going to get your hands on Seth Rollins, but you need to not physically confront him because bad shit starts happening. But he said he will get a match with Seth Rollins. Next, we had Alpha Academy. We had Alpha Academy versus a returning War Raiders team of War Raiders, Eric and Ivar. They were originally named Viking Raiders. I'm glad that they named them War Raiders. It feels fresh, feels new. They went back to their NXT name, so that's cool. The War Raiders made a very quick, just made quick work of the Alpha Academy, which is awesome. They got a brand new tag team finisher, which is cool. And so, yeah, it was a really fun time. So next we got Adam Pearce and Seth Rollins. Seth said, I've conquered beasts and slayed kings. And he wants to go against Bronson Reed. So we'll see what happens there. Next, we had a Cody Rhodes and Gunther face-off. And once again, both men stated their claim as to why they wanted to win that Crown Jewel Championship. Both showed respect for each other, so it was really, really cool. Cody, Cody brought some heat in that promo. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. So next match was Kofi Kingston versus Braun Breaker. Pretty good match between the two. Braun dominated most of the match. And then we seen Xavier Woods come down, attempt to save Kofi, and he got taken out. So we shall see. I don't know what's happening between the New Day, man. It's weird. We got a video package for Dragon Lee. Next, we had R-Truth versus The Miz. Miz asked for this match against R-Truth. We've seen a lot of backstage footage of Truth being funny and asking, why he did what he did. We got Karrion Kross with the Final Testament coming out to ringside, and it caused Miz the distraction. Miz got rolled up by Truth for the 3. When Truth was coming out to celebrate, the Final Testament threw him back in the ring. We also got a glitch in the system for the White Six, so it looks like the White Six are either going after Karrion Kross or they're going after the Miz, one of the two. But Miz gave the skull-crushing finale to R-Truth once he come back in the ring, and it's like they tease it and then move on. Super weird. Yeah, very true, and that's talking about the New Day. So yeah, I mean, it was really cool to see that, and we saw Karrion Kross walking out behind the Miz. So there may be an alliance there forming. We don't know. Only time will tell. So backstage, Jey Uso opened up his locker room door to see Jimmy sitting in there, and then he just walks away. And then, so once again, Jey is walking out of his locker room, and Jimmy walks past him, and he says, "Hey, look, man." And Jey just flat out says, "I don't want nothing to do with it. No yeet," and walks away. Next, we had Tiffany Stratton versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. This match was what it was. I didn't think that it was going to be the main event, but it was the main event. It ended in no contest after Nia Jax came in and took everybody out. Um, Nia Jax looked like she was trying to get Tiffany to cash in on Liv Morgan. I have my theories about the cash in on when it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen on Liv Morgan. So we shall see. Overall, Raw was pretty good. I enjoyed Raw. Raw was fun. When Chris comes back, he's going to talk NXT. He's going to talk NXT. But we're going to roll right into SmackDown. SmackDown was pretty decent. Once again, I'm pulling this up from Bleacher Report as we always do. So the opening segment had Roman and Jimmy. Oh wait. That okay? October 18th. Cool. All right. So the opening segment had Jimmy out or the new Bloodline out there. New Bloodline was pretty much saying that that nobody wants to smoke from them, and that that Jay doesn't want of it. As soon as they said that, uh, you know, Jay came out and Jay said, "Look, I don't understand why you're doing this. You're trying to say you want to make the family stronger, but you're bringing in outsiders. You're bringing in the Tongans. You're bringing in the Fatus. You're not staying with the organic bloodline." He said he didn't care about the Ulafala. He didn't care about any of that. But he also said that if he is calling himself the tribal chief, he didn't do it the right way, which means he would have had to beat Roman Reigns, not claim the Ulafala for himself. And so Solo said that the only way that things are going to go down properly is if at the end of the night, or he said the beatings are going to continue until Roman Reigns acknowledges him as his tribal chief, and it has to be done by the end of the night. That opening segment I thought was pretty good. It was cool to see Jay on the big screen there. Next, we had Pretty Deadly versus DIY versus Street Profits. Man, chaotic SmackDown. Chris, said sorry it's taking a little longer than I want, brother. No worries at all. It's all good. Next, we had Pretty Deadly versus DIY and Street Profits. Like I said, very chaotic match, like super chaotic. Teams were everywhere. At the end, we seen the Street Profits go to pin one of the members of Pretty Deadly. He was not the legal one, and we seen the meeting in the middle from DIY. Both teams went up for the pin. Unfortunately, DIY won. Now, I was paying attention, and it looked like Montez Ford and Dawkins were like getting heated, right? Because they felt like they should have won, whereas they didn't. So we may be seeing a turn from them later. I feel like there's a huge lack of heel teams on SmackDown. So that's just me, or effective heel teams on SmackDown. Whereas, I mean, there might be some better ones. I have to actually look at it. And so Bleacher Report, they said notable observations. Ciampa should be more feared, and we agree. I agree. We've talked about that on the show. Ciampa is dangerous. He's a dangerous man. I feel like with Johnny Gargano, he's put on the back burner, and he's not highlighted the way that he should be. Pretty Deadly has some good double team moves. Absolutely. Dude, Pretty Deadly is great. Absolutely love Pretty Deadly. I love all these teams. And finally, Montez Ford is ready. It's time for a singles push. I agree, but what happens with Dawkins? That's my problem. What happens with Dawkins? Because Dawkins, if we watch and we look at his evolution from when he first came in, that's why I didn't like the Final Testament leaving a Raw. Yeah, very true. Ciampa should be a monster fucking heel. Yes, he should. Ciampa should be a monster fucking heel. Honestly, that is the best Ciampa that we will see. Babyface Ciampa, not that great. But Montez Ford's ready. But my problem is like what happens with Dawkins, right? Because if we, like I said, if we look at the evolution of where Dawkins came from to where he's at now, he has improved 30, 40, 50 fold. This man is phenomenal. What happens to Dawkins? I don't want to see him fade into obscurity because Montez Ford got a singles push. Now, if Montez Ford gets a singles push and then we push Dawkins, they still remain a tag team. I'm cool with it. But don't let Dawkins fade into obscurity because that man is a phenomenal fucking talent. Next, we had Piper Niven versus Lash Legend, and like really good showing from both women. Really great showing from both women. We had Jakar Jackson ringside, Chelsea Green ringside, and we also had Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill sitting in the stands or behind the barricade watching the match. And we saw Jakar Jackson like show her absolute strength. She picked up Piper Niven and gave her finishing move. Great match between the two of them. I love seeing women that don't get utilized as much or that underappreciated get that time to shine in the ring. So it was really cool to watch. Some notable moments and observations. Lash Legend has improved so much since debuting in NXT. It's been fun to watch her grow. Absolutely. Dawkins is phenomenal. Historically, team breakups hurt both guys. Absolutely, they do. They really do. I think the only person like that I would say it didn't hurt is Shawn Michaels. Pair Dawkins with B-Fab, turn him heel, super babyface, and Montez. Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. I just don't like the route of like teams splitting up due to one person turning on the other. I'd like to see like where there's a mutual like, hey, look, I love you. I got nothing but respect, but it's time to go our separate ways. And I think with Montez and Dawkins, they have that respect where if it's like they split up because one turned on another, that to me would be like. Lash is awesome, man. She's one of the best on NXT. It was good to hear. And then next notable moment and observation that Bleacher Report said is Niven Sinton always looks good. She hits it flush every time. She's a very safe worker, and that's what I enjoy about watching her. Next, we had A-Town Down Under versus Los Garzas versus the Motor City Machine Guns. Yes, we got the Motor City Machine Guns on SmackDown. And Jesus Christ, they released it earlier in the day on Friday, showing them signing a contract with Nick Aldis, and DIY kind of did that on NXT, but then unfortunately a heel turn. Yep, absolutely. So we saw Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin sign a contract, shake the hand of Nick Aldis. And before we go into this match, God, I love Nick Aldis, right? Like, I've loved Nick Aldis as a wrestler, but as a GM, I love him even more. I love him because he gives a different dynamic, and I was sharing this in the in our team chat. Was that Nick Aldis feels like the aloof GM, like he's there but he's on his phone or he's in his book writing, and then somebody says something, he chimes in, and then he goes back to doing it, and that kind of happened earlier on in the night where he was taking some notes, and Nia Jax was supposed to have a tag team match. Fortunately, we seen that Tiffany Stratton was sick, and so Nia Jax was trying to get out of the match. She's like, "Oh, it's just not going to happen." And he's like, "Oh no, it's going to happen. I got you a tag team partner." And he just kept going, or I'm going to find you a tag team partner, and he just kept going. And then we seen Candice LeRae come in and volunteer as and by the way, congratulations. Nick Aldis is such a great presence, man. Incredible GM. Absolutely. One of my favorite that they have ever had on TV. But we seen Candice LeRae, the very first women's speed champion, tag teaming up with Nia Jax, and we shall see where that goes. But sheesh, Motor City Machine Guns had a hell of a debut. They did. Their music is great. So they came out, and like we seen We seen Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, Angel, and Berto all team up against the Motor City Machine Guns, and you heard, welcome to SmackDown. You're in the big leagues now, kid, which is like cool, but like a little bit disrespectful to the team of the Motor City Machine Guns. The the Motor City Machine Guns picked up the win. They did. Surprisingly, in their first match on SmackDown, they picked up the win. They will face DIY next week to see who is the number one contenders for the tag team championships against the Bloodline. Against Gorillas of Destiny. So notable moments and observations. Motor City Machine Guns music needs something to make it stand out. I disagree. This is what Bleacher Report says. I disagree. At the beginning, there's some sound effects that happen in the song which coincide with some explosions on the stage. That's pretty cool. I enjoy it. It feels like a dirty indie song. So I mean, I enjoy it. Angel and Berto had claw marks printed on their chest or painted on their chest. So that reminds me a lot of the American Wolves. Another great tag team from Impact. I would love to see come over, but I doubt. I think they're past their prime as a tag team. In all fairness, though, working TNA AEW isn't like working WWE at all. With all due respect to Machine Guns, prior work to WWE, absolutely. Working WWE is completely different than working AEW and TNA. And, I feel like the WWE style is going to help them maintain their fitness and whatever they're doing. I think Alex Shelley is doing something in the back as well, or not in the back, but he's got a side business happening, and Chris Sabin has side business going too. So they need to keep their eyes on both. The announcers did a good job telling the fans who Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley were. So that was really cool. One moment. Okay. And then Angel and Berto's simultaneous moonsaults look awesome. Yeah, dude. Los Garças are not a bad tag team at all. They're phenomenal. Every tag team I feel that's on the main roster is a great tag team. They just need a little something. Both great workers. I'm nervous that DIY is going to make the match way too endy next week. I hope they don't. I really hope they don't. I hope that we get a good showing, a good match between the two. We shall see. Los Garças are awesome. Yes, they are. Next, we had Nia Jax and Candice LeRae versus Naomi and Bayley. And for the most part, Bayley was out of this match most of the match. Like she came in first and she got eliminated, and we seen Naomi take over. Naomi actually had a really good showing. And a surprise! We got Mama LeRae, Candice LeRae. She picked up the win with a springboard moonsault onto Naomi. So that's pretty cool. Really good match between the two. I was very impressed with the ladies' match. Bravo del Far. Absolutely. So some notable moments and observations. Okay. Okay. So notable moments. They said it's so weird how Candice LeRae cannot carry her WWE Speed Championship on another show. Yeah. Milky Candice gets the dub. Yeah. That is weird. But, I don't think any of the other Speed champions have actually carried their championship onto a show, right? Like, I don't ever think I've seen Ricochet when he was a champion, Andrade when he was a champion, none of that. And I think, I don't know. Maybe it's just a Twitter exclusive championship. And next, Bayley hit the ring post hard. So, Bayley, I hope Bayley didn't get injured too much. The final segment must be a deal with X. Absolutely. So the final segment, and throughout the night, we've seen Roman. Roman met up with Jimmy. He came into the building. They won it with their platform, not on network TV. Okay, that's cool. So next we've seen, throughout the night, we've seen Roman and Jimmy periodically through the night. One part of the night, we saw them with Jay. And Jay, Roman looked at Jay and said, "I'm proud of you." The whole family is, which is kind of like in a weird way. That's like him saying, giving him his flowers, and that he did it on his own. But Jay said no, yeet, walked away, and Roman was like, "I told you." And I think what it is like Roman needs to go to Jimmy or to Jay and say, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry." Next, we seen Roman in the back sitting there in deep contemplation, like we've always seen him when he's in the back in deep contemplation. And the camera pans out, and you see see Jimmy like this, like next to Roman, and Roman kind of like freaks out. He's like, "What are you doing there?" He's like, "Oh, that's the spot of the wise man." He's like, "You're not the wise man. What are you doing?" And he was like, "Well, you need to go talk to Jay, right? Like I can't talk to Jay. You need to talk to Jay, right?" Welcome back, Chris. Yeah, on the phone. Cool. So we got Jimmy saying, "I can't talk to Jay. I've already tried. You need to go talk to Jay, and there's something that needs to happen with you and Jay." And so Roman said, "I've said all I can say," which definitely not. There's more to be said. And then finally, we had Solo come out at the end of the show, or Roman come out at the end of the show, and pretty much say like to Solo, like, "What do you want? Like, what exactly do you want?" Solo's like, he's like, "I'll do anything. If you're saying that you're making this family stronger, I'll do anything." And he said, "Acknowledge me." And so Roman was like, "I acknowledge you, man. Yeah. Like, I fucking acknowledge you." And he's like, no, that's not good enough. You need to acknowledge me as a tribal chief," which I said while you were off air. Jay said that the way that Solo went about it is wrong because he didn't face Roman for the title of the head of the table or Ulafala. He just grabbed it and put it on himself, which is something we've covered. And so Roman looked and like got all pissy, and he was, Solo was like, "Acknowledge me or else." And Roman fashion was like, "Or what else?" Right? Got all pissy with him, got all like buffed up, jacked up, Jack Daddy, and then he said, "There it is. You haven't changed, and neither have I." And so they brought Jimmy. Jimmy was brought out all beat up from the rest of the bloodline, and then we've seen the same ending that we've seen from the bloodline, and that they beat dog shit out of Roman, and the show ended there. What do they got to do, man? Like I feel like I love this bloodline storyline, Chris, but like, what do they have to do to
give me a more creative ending? I mean, yes. I was a big Bloodline fan the entire pandemic. I'm wearing a fucking We the One shirt. I'm an Usos fan. I'm a Roman Reigns fan. The problem is when there is an entire roster on both shows that can easily be doing more than what they're doing, all TV time is going towards the Bloodline still. We are almost 5 years into this shit, and they're still doing it. I don't have a problem with great TV. I don't have a problem with them selling merch, selling tickets. We're in a really good business state with WWE. But if you're going to continue to do a fucking storyline, at least make the endings a little bit more creative. How many times are we going to see Solo standing over a lifeless Roman Reigns?
Yeah. Yes. And I feel like they're building the storyline, but it's like, and we beg for these storylines to like, make sense, make it make sense. And then like you got Jay on the show, and then you got Jimmy on another show, and then Jimmy goes to visit Jay, and Jay goes to visit Jimmy, right? And like they're teasing it, but like at some point that's got to come to fruition. We got Survivor Series, and I think that's like mid-November. And they're building to it, but it's like, fuck, man. It's going so slow. My question is, who, if Jay does join them, right? You got Roman, Jimmy, Jay. Who's that fourth member?
Anybody but fucking Sammy. Anybody but fucking Sammy, bro. Because I swear to God, if I got to see Sami Zayn in the Bloodline again, I'm out.
Yeah.
Him having a title shot was already more than enough than I needed of Sammy.
Yeah.
All due respect to Sammy because he's a great worker, he's a great human being. I just, at some point, man, you got to start giving other people opportunities.
At some point, you got to stop being that underdog.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you're not an underdog anymore.
You're a fucking veteran at this point.
Yeah.
If anybody's the underdog in that situation in that Intercontinental Championship match, it would have been Braun Breaker.
Right.
Right? It would have been Gunther, right? Because, I mean, as like dominant as Gunther was, he's still, in comparison in the company, he was still rookie compared to Sammy. So like that, oh, I'm the underdog. No, you're not.
You haven't been an underdog since 2014.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You stopped being an underdog that moment that you ended the longest reigning tag team championship run in WWE history.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania.
And he stopped being fucking an underdog when he won the NXT title.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So I don't want Sammy involved in this at all. They've got Hikuleo there. Hikuleo signed a WWE
so
contract.
That's confirmed. He is working for them.
He signed a contract. That's why he's not in New Japan. So like, what happens now, right? Like, does Hikuleo join?
Well, from what I heard, he's going right to NXT.
Is he?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's like I've been saying for the last year and a half, man. Ever since the whole Jay White thing, I will believe it when I see it. Just like the Luther Bros shit. Didn't I say? I'll believe when I see it, and look what happened. Yeah. Now we're not going to see it.
No, we're not going to see it for another year.
They signed a contract. Okay, buddy, they signed a contract, sure.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just like you said. At some point, this like the bloodline stuff is
it's literally overshadowing the entire fucking roster on both shows.
Yeah,
and that's why I didn't want Jay to go back, because Jay is one of the hottest baby faces in the company. So you're gonna harness that and throw him back in the bloodline shit? What are you doing?
I think if they did it once, like if it was like a one-off thing where he went and did it and then came back, I'd be okay with it. I just don't want him back involved like in the storyline long term.
But see, here's the thing with that though, because now he's gonna be defending his title against Braun again, right? And they're trying to recruit him back into the bloodline. So what's to say they don't fuck over his title reign, and have him join the bloodline anyway? That's hurting Jay. Yeah,
I agree. And I think another thing is it overshadows the heavyweight championship and the undisputed champion, right? It overshadows both. Which, if it was organic, like an organic thing, like Jay, like if Jay organically got so over that he overshadowed the heavyweight champion,
right?
Understandable. But like this bloodline thing, like you said, has been going on 5 years now, and it has overshadowed by force.
Look, like again, I'll go back to bloodline because I don't care what anybody says at this point. I am still dead set on the fact that they should have never had that close the show.
Yep.
Because The Rock was out there for a whole ass 5 minutes, 4 of which were his goddamn entrance. And a minute of just doing fucking sign language and walking out.
Yeah.
Why? Tell me why Punk and Drew didn't main event that show. Don't give me The Rock as a bigger star bullshit.
It didn't have the storyline to be a main event.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, bro, you put 2 of the biggest guys of the company in the main event. Okay, I can understand that. But why the fuck are we doing a tag team as a main event when you have Drew and Punk who are carrying the entire summer while Roman took off?
Yeah.
Like, Roman has deserved his time, bro. I'll never take that away from the man. But the simple fact that you have other people backseating to The Rock in 2024 is fucking ridiculous.
Again, in the case of Punk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. and it's hard to like sit and watch that happen. And I hope moving forward that they're gonna do something. Now I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen like moving forward. I mean, we're what 3 months away from Rumble.
Yep.
Which is crazy to say, man. Like we're 3 months away from the Rumble. And I don't even know who I don't have a pick for the Rumble this year.
I don't either. And I say it every single year. I am forever in the mentality of whoever wins, there's a reason behind it. The only Rumble I will ever go against that claim was the one that Lesnar recently won.
Yeah.
Because we know why they did that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we're literally almost to Rumble.
Yeah.
We're like 6 months away from Mania, and it's just crazy, man. This year feels like it's flown by so fast.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, man. I feel like in the coming weeks we have to see what's holding for. Chelsea just walked in and she's got her nails done. But anyways, I just I feel like they got to do something drastic in the terms of the bloodline, like, and change it up.
Here's my thing, man. I feel like when Roman was gone, when he took his time away, I feel like everybody was getting TV time. It felt like everything could build, everything could fucking move around on the card smoothly. Not putting the blame on Roman coming back. More so, the bloodline wasn't taking all the TV time.
Yeah.
And now we're on 2 shows that are both 2 hours now until January, which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the bloodline is taking up at least 30, 45 minutes worth of TV time.
Yeah.
And in a 3-hour Raw, it wasn't a problem because they can make it work. Yeah. But when you're doing that on SmackDowns, when you're doing that on Raws, we didn't get anything with the KO and Cody Rhodes stuff at all. At all. I mean, yeah, we saw the video clip, but that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the video clip was good. Honestly, that was one of KO's better promos, in my opinion.
He doesn't cut a bad promo, in my opinion.
No. Now, moving forward from that, what do you think happens with Cody and KO? Right.
I would assume that the goal is to have them face out off at War Games, keep him out of the War Games, keep Cody away from the bloodline. I mean, we could do a triple threat with him, Orton, and KO. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that because hopefully if my computer doesn't stop lagging, I could switch over and not be on my phone. But I just feel like Cody right now is taking a backseat to Roman. Mm-hmm. And this is what we all feared was going to happen. I don't think it makes Cody look any less of a champion, but I feel like his story, no pun intended, is taking a backseat to the bloodline.
Yeah.
And it's getting fucking old in a hurry, bro.
It is. I don't want to see them play hot potato with that championship either, right? Like, I don't want to see Roman go to the Rumble and win the Rumble for him to get a championship.
God, man, if Roman wins the Rumble, I don't ever want to hear people bitch about Brock Lesnar ever again.
No. I don't want to see Randy go and win the Rumble.
I wouldn't be against that, though.
I wouldn't either.
And here's why. If you remember how the Legacy WrestleMania went when it was Orton against Legacy, that triple threat match was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now, you have a 2024 Cody Rhodes, who is arguably one of the best in-ring guys that we have right now next to Gunther, against an Orton who is built like a brick shithouse, and it's still as smooth as ever in that ring. Dog, I would not be mad one goddamn bit if Randy Orton won the Rumble. Not one bit.
I wouldn't be mad either, and I wouldn't want it, but I wouldn't be mad if it happened. And I'm saying that because, like, if you look at both champions right now, like, Randy has stories with both.
Sure.
Right? He's got the story with Gunther, where he didn't beat Gunther in Germany. Was it Germany or I don't remember.
Berlin.
Yeah. He didn't beat Gunther in Germany. And also Cody, right? Like he could do the whole Batista thing where Batista, turned on Evolution and chose.
Don't let me in yet. Let me just see if it's working.
Okay. All right.
No, there's two of me. Sorry.
All right, there we go. I removed you. Anyways, yeah, I mean, but he could do the Evolution thing where he turns on Cody, and I'd like that. Like, I would love a vicious heel Randy again. I love face Randy, but I love vicious heel Randy.
I love that he's kind of always been the tweener.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where he is right now. He's not 100% baby face. It's not like kissing babies and all that stuff, but he's not a heel either. He's like the really aggressive baby face.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that match he had with Gunther and the promo he hit with Gunther, oh my fucking Lord. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I feel like Orton is in that spot in his career where I don't think he needs a heel turn, just like I don't ever think a heel turn would have ever benefited John Cena, ever.
No.
Just for the simple fact that John's character was going against what the wrestling society wants. Because they were booing him anyway. If you want to get technical, the man was a heel almost his entire career.
Yeah. Yeah. By all standards.
From 2007 all the way to 2014.
Yeah.
They booed that man consistently.
Yeah.
Sure, he had cheers. He had his fans, me being one of them. But John Cena was never really a full-blown Jey Uso babyface like that. Never.
Yeah.
Until now. Yeah. Until like the last 5 years.
I do have a thought as to somebody who could win the Rumble and benefit massively from it. Which, I mean, everybody can benefit from winning the Rumble. Chad Gable. Yeah.
So here's my thing with Chad. I think he's doing great in his role. Mm-hmm. His feud with Gunther was great. I think he should have won it off of him at WrestleMania opposed to Sammy, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know if he's world heavyweight or undisputed champion material. Just because he's not Kurt Angle. And I know that might come off as harsh, but I feel like the comparisons are there. Everybody compares him to Kurt Angle, right? Now, let's compare Kurt Angle when he debuted, coming out of pure wrestling Olympics, just like Chad, right? Didn't have the NXT development. This man picked up on how to work in WWE without an NXT PC center, without any kind of guidance of what the fuck he should be doing, and became one of the most talented, entertaining wrestlers of all fucking time.
Yeah.
And I would dare put him in my top 10 because he is fucking incredible. Chad, on the other hand, Chad has had a great NXT career with American Alpha. That was one of my favorite tag teams of that tag team division. Then you bring them onto NXT onto the main roster, and Jason Jordan gets hurt after a couple years. Then Chad Gable's doing Shorty G, and then he's doing whatever else he's doing. He was on the verge of being let go. I don't think that Chad Gable now is anywhere near the Chad Gable that first debuted because, one, he's got Triple H on the helm, which is fucking great for him. And then you have somebody like Gunther as your champion. I feel like, I don't know, man. Gable's just not. He's just not that guy. Not right now. I mean, maybe he could prove me wrong and win a world championship, but I just don't see it.
I would like to see, and I think the only thing that really would get me is like to see it happen, right? Like see it organically happen, organically unfold, where he is pushed into that either babyface spot or heel spot, and then like Gunther, flips whatever, and then push him to the fucking highest caliber that he can, because we know the man can work. We know that man can go. You'd probably put him in an Iron Man match, 60-minute, 2-hour Iron Man match, and that man would walk out of there like
Bro,
he had
I would
just.
argue to say if he were to be pushed into the stratosphere of world heavyweight contendership, I would love to see a red hot heel Chad Gable take it off of Cody. If we're gonna push him there, him taking the title off of Cody would be perfect.
Yeah, I agree. I think taking it off of him, but then also like the story of like he could never beat Gunther, right? I think that would be another one, right?
But he's a heel now.
And as a heel now, he's like avenging that, and like Gunther has the possibility of going face or heel, but he's a pretty red hot heel right now.
I would say that Gunther has improved leaps and bounds since they put the World Heavyweight Championship around them. And it's actually kind of mind-blowing because WWE actually just tweeted his top 10 best microphone moments for Gunther.
Yeah.
This is a man who everybody said couldn't talk for shit, and they're doing top 10s? Bro.
Yeah.
Gunther is the real fucking deal.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's what I enjoy about a champion or like anybody, a talent, is like your ability to take like your weakness and then make it stronger, right? Like Gunther, we all know Gunther wasn't that great on the mic, and that's why they put Kaiser with him. And now he doesn't necessarily need Kaiser.
They didn't give him the microphone either, though.
No, they didn't. They really did. They just handed it to Kaiser, and Kaiser did all the work. Kaiser's great on the mic, phenomenal in the ring.
Another guy who I think deserves a push.
Yeah. I would love to see him with a mid-card title right now, honestly. But I don't want to see them playing hot potato, and it's starting to get in that realm of hot potato with the Intercontinental Championship.
I genuinely so I usually agree with the hot potato argument with the Jay and Braun thing. If they were to do the bloodline interference, I wouldn't consider it a hot potato as much as I would consider it bullshit. Hot potato is what they did with the TNT title forever.
What they did with the Raw Women's Championship with Sasha and Charlotte.
Yeah, that too. Sasha and Charlotte, right. That's hot potato. Yeah. I think Jay should have at least a couple month run before he drops that title. I don't think Braun losing that title as fast as he did hurts him at all because he's still young and he's still got a long career ahead of him. I want to see Jay defend the title more than twice and actually have a fucking run.
Yeah. But, and going to that, right, like, I enjoy what they're doing with Braun, right, where his first match with Sammy, he overlooked Sammy, and he lost, right? Yeah. And then the next match, he stepped it up, and he won. And then that match and I know he didn't have any defenses except for Jay, right? So then he fought against Jay, and he lost against Jay because he got too arrogant. Now, and if we
remember, that's what happened with, I don't know if you watched NXT 2.0, but that's what happened with him and Ciampa.
Yeah.
He faced Ciampa the first time. He made a slip up, a botch, whatever. And Ciampa capitalized on it and took the title and retained his title.
Yeah. Now, if you go into that next match and Jay loses the championship, I wouldn't put anything against it, but I just don't want to see every feud that Braun goes in. If Braun is going to be this foreseeable Intercontinental Champion, I don't want to see him going against veterans and then losing just to win it back, right? Like that doesn't do anything. That doesn't establish a legacy. That establishes a tarnishment.
If I was booking Jay right now, I would use him as a beacon to build heel superstars.
Oh yeah,
Braun is more than established as a heel. I think he should go through the division a little bit more, then circle back to Jay, and then take the title. But you can have Jay versus Kaiser. You can have Jay versus fucking one of the American Alpha guys, Chad Gable. I mean, there's so many possibilities there.
If I'm going to say anybody that I would want to see face Jay and take that championship off of Jay is Bronson Reed. And because the man is so goddamn good. For a big man, he is so goddamn good. And he listens to the crowd, right? I was watching an interview with him and Chris Van Vliet where he was like, I was only supposed to do one. He was like, I was only supposed to do one tsunami. And then I wanted the impact of doing 2 and 3. Yeah. And then by the end of the third one, people were asking for more. So I did 4, and then I did a 5th one, and then finally the 6th one. And the man is so smart. He listens to the crowd and he plays on the crowd's fucking what they want, right? And so I think he's more than deserving of that Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
And also, the dude's a fucking phenomenal talent.
Mm-hmm. You know who's another one who I think would thrive with the title is fucking Karrion Kross.
Yes.
Kross is another guy who I don't feel like gets nearly as much love as he deserves.
Yeah.
I just watched his interview with Van Fleet too, and every time I hear that man talk outside of a wrestling setting, you just can't help but respect the guy, because I don't know if you remember how social media was towards him during the pandemic / election.
They shit on him.
They destroyed that poor man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just the fact that he's kind of where he's at, where, I guess you would consider him as an enhancement guy, but I feel like he deserves more.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I would go as far as to say put the Intercontinental Championship on a heel Miz. If he's running with the Final Testament, put it on a heel Miz.
See, I don't know about that, because Miz is just... I feel like Miz is at a point in his career where he doesn't need any sort of title.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if they're in the record-setting business right now, if they're trying to reset the records, Miz would be perfect, because I think he's one championship away from having the most reigns. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong, but I think he's up there. But yeah, man, dude, there's so much to look forward to in the future, but I hope that they take that spotlight off of the bloodline just a little bit so that we can give other people a chance to shine.
See, that's the problem, is they're not going to. It's just going to fucking go all the way up until WrestleMania 41.
Yeah. Next week on SmackDown, we're gonna have the DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns to see who is going to be the number one contender for the tag team championships. It's going to be a good match if Johnny Gargano and Ciampa can step their fucking game up and step away from the Indies.
I'm worried that if Motor City wins, which I would hope they would go over, I don't want them jobbing to the bloodline.
Nope.
And
I don't.
I can, if they somehow make it a triple threat where the Profits get into that mix somehow and the Profits get pinned, okay.
Yeah.
But you don't debut a new tag team and fucking have them lose. That's just fucking retarded.
Yeah, I don't want them to get to the championship match and then lose.
Yeah.
Right? Because the tag team championships aren't being defended as often as they should.
I don't know if you saw this report. I wanted to bring this up because I posted it on Twitter before we went live. But apparently, New Japan and AEW sources believe that it's likely that the talent that work Forbidden Door or co-promoted AEW shows in the future would have to make an agreement to not immediately go to WWE.
What?
Tony Khan is the most insecure human being that I've ever seen in my life. That is literally
clown. Jesus. What a clown.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And that was a shot at Stephanie Vaquer for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of which, she had a nice little debut on NXT. And heavy shout out to Ren Sinclair and Chelsea Green for bringing Julia and Stephanie onto TV, because my fucking God, 2 of the absolute best workers I've seen in that division. Ren Sinclair really pulled all the tools out of her bag for that match. I don't think anybody was gonna take that match seriously because Stephanie's such a highly touted name. But man, she put the cattle mutilator on her and danced circles around Stephanie at one point. She was toying with her.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm excited to see what happens in the future with NXT. If I can get the CW to fucking work on my stuff, I'll be watching it.
Yeah,
that's just more rest.
There's a stream that I've been going on that works perfectly fine. Doesn't need a VPN or anything.
Sick.
I'll send that over to you.
Awesome.
And just really quick, I'm just gonna graze over the NXT main event really quick because
hell of a main event.
Fucking God. Javon Evans just continues to prove he's the best high flyer in the game right now. I'll put him over anybody right now. He is just that damn good. Pun intended to Triple H's promo. But Ethan Page, man, he is so beyond my main roster ready. It's not even funny. He had a lot of really great moments in that match, and he stole the win from Javon Evans. HBK knows exactly what works and what doesn't on his brand. He is so self-aware of bad booking decisions that he corrects it almost immediately. There's a lot of people that were upset that they're doing Ethan and Trick for a third time, but it's like you gotta close the story up. You just it's 3 matches. Get over it. But I say it every single time. NXT is my favorite brand of every single week. It's just nonstop greatness.
Yep. And last week, or it was either last Raw or this past Raw, we seen the Raw GM. Goddamn, what's his name? There's so many names. Anyways, he was in the office with Ava, and they were talking, and
Ethan Page.
And strolls Ethan Page, and he said, "I have a problem with one of your talent." Once CM Punk decided to get his nose in my business, so they're planting the seeds for Punk versus Ethan.
When Punk comes back, they better capitalize on him and Ethan. That is a money fucking match because both can talk and both can work. That is fucking, that chemistry is gonna be great.
Yeah, and it's not gonna hurt either one of them.
Right.
It can only benefit everybody involved. And I think like this would be a great like, and I hate to say throwaway feud, but because it definitely wouldn't be.
I don't think it'd be a throwaway feud. I think it would be something very special for Ethan.
Well, no, so trying to think of the word. It would be a great build-up feud for him and Seth. Filler for Seth, for Punk and Seth.
Right.
Because when that fucking happens, whoo.
How about this? On the way to their build-up between Seth and Punk, right? Seth gets involved with Ethan in some fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan pushes Punk to his limit. And we're going to go back to the Jason Jordan and Cena Roman feud when they did that. Mm-hmm. Oh, it took you this long to beat a rookie, even though we know Ethan Page is not a rookie.
Yeah.
And then Seth faces Ethan Page the following week and struggles with that. Out comes Punk saying, oh, it took you this long to beat a rookie. The same rookie that I beat in this amount of time. Bro, he would be such a great fucking talking point to build that feud.
Oh, yeah.
Because him getting to work with two of the best workhorses of that company, bro, oh, my God. Fucking send it.
Imagine him with the Money in the Bank briefcase.
He would be the ego emote.
He would be a goddamn terror with that thing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I think the only thing better I would like to see is like him and Josh Alexander reform the North in WWE.
So I've always wondered why Josh has never made an appearance of any kind anywhere else. Like not even AEW, which is kind of weird.
I know that he
doesn't want to travel or something.
I don't know. I know that he said that he organically wanted to stay with TNA for a while, but his contract is expiring, and he said he's going to venture out and see what is in store for him. I'd love to see him over there, mind you. And I'm going to say this, mind you. There's 2 contracts in TNA that are coming up very soon that I have a feeling are going to jump ship to WWE.
Jordan
which
Grace
is not
1,000% jumping over. So
Jordan Grace. Well, that would be 3. Jonathan Gresham as well. His contract's coming up. I think he's super fucking talented.
He's good, but I think they kind of more or less proved why he doesn't work in a bigger company in AEW. I hate AEW, and I'll never, ever in a million years give them props for anything. But I feel like when Gresham was working there, I just feel like everybody towering him and making him look as small as he is was a bad look. I mean, we've seen small guys succeed in WWE, so I mean, I guess that's not really much of a point. But I feel like Gresham just isn't bigger company fit, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. When he was in Ring of Honor, right? Like he was a big fish in a small pond because he was that pure champion. Mm-hmm. And then he went to AEW, and then he became a small fish in a massive pond. And then he went to Impact, and he stayed that tadpole in a big pond. And now, like, I hope that if they put him in NXT, that if he does sign a contract, that it will force him to be that big fish in a small pond, right? Because I
would think if he agrees to sign anywhere, I would expect him to jump NXT. Same with Jordan.
Yeah, and I would love to see them keep his name, right? Like, let him keep Jonathan Gresham. Let him show his talent, right? Because like people are going to be able to look at him and be like, "That's Jonathan Gresham," and I remember him from Impact, from Ring of Honor, all these other places. Versus if you have him come in and change his name and completely rebuild from the ground up. So I don't know, man.
I feel like that was a big Vince, which I get.
Yeah,
I understand why Vince did it.
Yeah. Joe Henry's when he does sign with WWE, it's gonna be huge, and I feel like he's gonna go straight to the main roster.
He should. I feel like him coming back at the Rumble or him debuting at the Rumble would be perfect.
That would
be
like
a monster fucking pop.
Yep. I would and with the working relationship, I'd love to see Nick Nemeth. I would love to see Nick Nemeth come back, or maybe Matt Cardona. I love both of those guys. Cardona and
Matt Cardona. I want Nick as far away as humanly possible.
You don't like him?
It's not that I don't like him, man. I just feel like he was one of those guys that fizzled out so fucking fast. And when he won the NXT title, I was like, okay, I get why they're doing it, but like, no, neither brand nor him needs it. No. I don't think Ziggler, outside of his World Heavyweight Championship win after the Money in the Bank, I feel like has always just kind of had a career on life support.
Yeah.
His Intercontinental title runs were pretty good. His feud with fucking Miz was one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah. Especially that match where he pretty much was like, "This is all I got left. If I can't beat you, I'll walk away."
Yeah.
And then he pulled that win out of his ass. That was like phenomenal. His feud with Seth when he was a heel was great. And the Iron Man match, the only thing is that Iron Man match had a wonky finish, so I didn't really like it.
Who was that against?
Seth. It was Seth and Dolph Ziggler, and they had a 60-man Iron Man match on Raw, and it had a wonky finish where the champion, where it was tied, they didn't want to go overtime, so the champion just walked away with the championship, and it was never revisited.
Interesting.
But that was like one of the ones where, like, I want to say Dolph picked up like 3 or 4 pins right off the bat, like boom, boom, boom. And then
I remember his Survivor Series performance in 2014.
Yeah. When Sting came to save him.
Yeah, dude. Him and Cena, and then Cena just letting Ziggler run through everybody. Oh my god, bro.
Yeah.
Way too good.
Yeah. I mean, like, he had the potential to be Randy Orton, but just never lived up to it.
The thing with Orton, though, man, is I genuinely feel like there's nobody that is better, like, all around than Orton was. And that's a long list of people. I think he's better than Lesnar. Ring-wise, I'd say he's better than Cena. Cena's got character and mic work over him. I'd say Orton is better than the last, like, wrestlers that have come up in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 15 years even.
Yeah. I agree. I think he's, he's not as strong as Brock, but he's better than Brock, right? Like, he's not as charismatic as Cena, but in the ring, he has some solid promos. He's not as agile as AJ, but, like, the man's fucking awesome.
So fluent. The man, like, floats in that fucking ring.
It's like you don't know where that first move ended and the next move begins, and that's just it's enjoyable to watch him. Yeah. I'm happy he's not doing that top rope suplex or that superplex anymore, because that's probably what did him in with the back injury.
If I remember right, wasn't he feuding with the Bloodline pretty heavy?
Yep.
And the Usos took him out.
Yep.
Those matches
he was
pretty.
Oh yeah, they were very physical. But anyways, guys, we are gonna call the show. Chris, what are you excited for today and this upcoming week?
Today, probably just taking an edible.
Hey-o.
For this week, okay, this week is not Halloween Havoc. I don't know, man. Actually, no, that's next weekend. That's next Sunday.
That's next Sunday?
Oh, shit.
Shit.
Okay, so Halloween Havoc, technically. Raw and SmackDown are just kind of whatever to me right now. I'm not really invested in anything going on. I'm curious to see what tomorrow brings for Raw. SmackDown, I'm just kind of whatever with, because it's like I said earlier, man, it's just all fucking Bloodline focused, so it's exhausting.
Yeah.
I hope NXT beats AEW again, because Jesus Christ, I posted on Twitter. I said, I don't care if it's 5 viewers or 5,000 viewers. I'm like, fuck AEW into the stratosphere. You lost again.
Man, that's wild. This week I'm going to Texas. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm excited for that. Get to go out and be around a place I've never been. Oh, this past week I seen Terrifier 3.
How was
Sweet
it?
G. Oh, if you like
1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. What is it?
30.
Bet.
Have you seen like any of the Terrifiers?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you remember you know that scene from Terrifier 1.
The bedroom scene?
No, Terrifier 1.
Or the hanging upside down scene.
The hanging upside down scene. They revisited that, but different, in a shower scene. Yeah. But with a guy this time.
Yeah.
With a guy
I don't know,
this
man.
time.
I after watching Terrifier 2 again and watching that the bedroom scene, bro. Oh.
The shower. I'm gonna tell you, like, the shower scene is way more violent.
I heard.
God damn. And
just like a spoiler, but Jesus.
Dude, and just everything about Terrifier 2 or 3 was awesome, man. Art's interaction with Santa Claus was fucking great. There's a lot of comedy in the show or in the movie, just like, all the other Terrifiers. And it sets up for Terrifier 4, which I am so excited for. Excited for.
I think it's crazy that it's the number 1 movie in America right now. And the fact that Joker did so bad, bro. Yeah. DC is so washed.
Mm-hmm. I'm confused that it's the number 1 movie in the world, because it started out as indie movie, right? Like low budget. The
Nobody got funded, bro.
No, here, listen to this. The very first movie that like had Art the Clown in it was a Netflix movie. Or not Netflix, a YouTube movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went into All Hallows Eve, which was super low budget. It was like $35,000. And then they went on to, because Art was like bigger from All Hallows Eve, that moved into Terrifier, the solo movie. And then that amplified and it just became skyrocketed, right? And like, I had so much fun watching it. It was great. David Howard Thornton, the guy that plays Art the Clown, said he was like, nothing really bothers me. I got a strong stomach. He's like, but I'm very empathetic. He was like, I was on the set of Terrifier 3 and we were doing one of the kill scenes, and there was something that I was just like, oh man, no human being should have to go through this. I was like, man, when your actor even says that, like, it's a good fucking movie.
Even the chick Lauren, that she said that she was glad she wasn't on set for one of the kill scenes. I'm like, man, that's when it's pretty bad.
I'm gonna tell you, man, that one of the final kills in that movie was just like fucking gruesome. And like, I've seen variations of it, but not like this. Not like this. Like, I was just like, fuck.
I'm excited.
Jesus.
I'm very excited. Yeah. Now, my question is, do they start the movie how the second one ended?
No, it's like a few years afterwards.
Oh.
Like, so essentially, like, the main character, she survives and then goes into an insane asylum because she's fucking, obviously. Yeah. She's in an insane asylum.
Sienna went to a hospital?
Sienna went to a hospital. Yeah. She went to a hospital because of like everything that happened.
No fucking shot.
And the brother kind of like put it in the back of his head and was like, went to college. And dude, it's just, god damn. I'm just gonna say, like, there's one survivor in the movie. Just gonna tell, there's one. Be prepared. Like, there's one survivor.
The one from the first one? The one who was already locked up?
No.
Oh God. Oh God.
Do you want me to tell you?
No. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say there's one survivor throughout the whole movie, and you find out more about Sienna, like who she actually really is, and like, it's fucking wild. It is because she's more than just like a human being.
Yeah.
Like, and it's crazy.
They touched on that in the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, there's some really funny parts. Like, there's a part where a guy is walking through an abandoned building. He's an inspector, and he's like, "Jingle bells! This place fucking smells." Like, it's just so goddamn funny, dude. I really enjoyed it. I have all of the movies minus the YouTube movie on Prime, and when this one comes out for Prime, I'm gonna buy it because I just love. I personally think Art the Killer or Art the Clown is a pop culture icon right now, like horror movie icon.
I would say that it's the best horror movie character since Scream.
Yeah.
I would definitely put him up there with some of the best slashers up there.
Well, there was a lot, like, and I was watching a show where there's been a lot of horror movies that have tried to like make icons, and it just never worked out, right? And like, Art the Clown happened organically, and it just became something that it wasn't meant to be. And apparently,
the whole thing is how, like you said, it started out as indie and low budget, and weren't expecting it to blow up as much as it did. But you go in the comment section of people talking about Art beating Joker, bro. No, all of a sudden everybody hates Terrifier. It's like, bro, you guys are so performative. What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean,
like, I'm sorry that DC hasn't been able to put out a good movie since Shazam.
Yeah, and even that was kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly my point.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Shazam, but there's parts of it that just sucked.
The suit was so bad, dog. Oh my god,
so bad, and just The Rock wanting, like, shitting on Shazam because he didn't want Shazam in there. Like, you obviously haven't paid attention to the comic books, man. Whatever.
The thing that pissed me off about Black Adam was the fact that they had Henry Cavill come back as Superman just for them to not fucking use him anymore. What was the point of that cameo? Nothing.
None. And I mean that, and I would say that's the same of like him doing the cameo in Wolverine and Deadpool. Like, he's not going to be used.
I mean, we knew what that was, though. It was a one-off. That's different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, today we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. Chris, I hope you have a good week.
Yes, sir.
And
What day
Jr. Thanks. Tonight, like in the morning.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Let me know
I
when you get
fly.
there.
We'll do, man. We'll do. We're flying Spirit.
Yikes.
All right, y'all. Be good.